Good morning, I'm Stephanie Weaver here in our quarantine kitchen in Southern California. I'm here with Microwave Boy on the camera. Good morning, Microwave Boy.
Hello, Steph.
And I'm the author of the Migraine Relief Plan. Today I'm going to be showing you how to roast vegetables, because you might be buying some vegetables that hold up a little bit longer than the more tender vegetables. And so I'm going to show you how I do it. So my stove is set to 450 Fahrenheit, and I'm just going to pull these out real quick because I've got some carrots going, and I just want to kind of show you what they look like and kind of what's going on with them. So you can see that at 450 we're getting some really nice color on these, and I use a fork because I want to see if they're tender. I also want you to notice that the skinnier pieces I cut longer, so they're more sort of uniform in terms of area. And I usually, after about 15 minutes, I give them a good shake, so we kind of roll them over so they're not continuing to cook on that dark brown side, because you don't want them to burn. But you do want to get some really nice caramelization, which is what's happening here. And caramelization is the sugars starting to turn and go golden, and that's what gives you all that really nice kind of sweet flavor from a roasted vegetable. So I'm going to put these back in because you check the thickest one. I can't get my fork through it, but hi Daisy. But they need a couple more minutes. So I'm going to set the timer for probably about 7 or 8 minutes. I also want you to notice that I've got two different colors of you might think of them as baking sheets or cookie sheets or things you heat your frozen pizzas up on. Dark colored sheets versus silver sheets are going to cook things faster because the dark conveys the heat more quickly. So the main thing is you want to try to get all the pieces of, ideally you want just one vegetable per sheet because they're all going to cook at their own speed, and that way you don't have to try to separate them. What I do is I toss them in oil. Now, and I'll talk about the oils in a minute, and then you want to separate them out. So this is gold potatoes that I've peeled. They're tossed in chicken fat. Jewish cooks will know that as schmaltz, and just some simple salt and pepper. And so let's talk about what's going on in here. These are Japanese Murasaki sweet potatoes, and they've been tossed in light vegetable oil from this jar of marinated artichokes. And what I like to do is I like to kind of, if I'm going to sprinkle spices on them, kind of leave them in a bunch, and then I sprinkle kind of from high. So this is a beautiful, from Ariana Trading Company, this is a beautiful Greek seasoning blend that's got spearmint, oregano, sesame seeds, and sea salt ground up. And you can see I'm kind of sprinkling it from on high so it'll get a nice even coating. Then I'm going to shake it, and what you want is you don't want the vegetables really to be touching. So you don't have to make a big production out of it, but you don't want them to be touching because you want air to circulate around them, and you also want to make sure that that they're not starting to steam. You want them to be roasting as opposed to steaming. So those are ready to go in the oven, and I'm going to just throw them in so they can get started. And I do have an oven thermometer in there. I've got both of my trays kind of in the middle, so enough room to put the tray, something on the lower rack. But you want them kind of centered in the oven so that there's air circulating really well. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about, so we're going to talk about oil first. So what can you use to roast things in? So I save chicken fat from whenever I roast or cook chicken. I skim it off the top after the dish is refrigerated. Chicken fat and potatoes, unbelievable combination. Some people might have duck fat. I don't ever have duck fat, but it's also very good with potatoes. And then we save our bacon fat in the jar, cleverly labeled oink. Extra virgin olive oil, excellent. Coconut oil, excellent. You'd have to melt some of these down, you'd have to melt if they're solid, you want to melt them so that you can toss easily. And then if you have anything that's been preserved in oil, which is going to have some nice flavor from that, whatever it was preserving, you can use that as well. And so if we're not going shopping as often, as we normally do. These are some things that we can find. So those are some preserved artichokes. I also wanted to talk about roasting potatoes. So these are gold potatoes. That's this guy. They're generally smaller. They're younger or newer potatoes. Red potatoes would be the same thing. And if you feel them versus a russet, they are actually much softer. So you don't want to bake these on the same sheet because this is going to take a lot longer. It's an older potato, a more mature potato. It's going to have denser flesh. It's going to take a lot longer to cook. And I normally, or used to, say you don't need to peel potatoes because the skins are very nutritious. And that would be true, except that a lot of potatoes are not stored very well in the grocery stores, and so they tend to get bad spots, soft spots, moldy spots. You just never know. And if you don't peel them, you're not going to know kind of what's going on inside. So like that's probably something we don't want to eat. So I'm going to peel that off. And also if you have, you'll see if there's this one may have some actual kind of mold inside it, which we want to get rid of. But sometimes there'll be like almost a white area. That's kind of a discoloration. You want to peel that off as well. And then so this guy is going in with his compadres over there on that sheet. So I'm just going to finish tossing it with that same oil. And then those will be ready to go in when those carrots come out. Okay, and then I just use a nice big bowl. So the biggest bowl you have, you want lots of area to toss. And then let's take a look at this guy and see what's going on. So I have a timer that goes off at 5 minutes and 3 minutes, so it's kind of, we're used to it, but it is kind of loud. So I'm peeling this back just to see, now this one's probably going to be perfectly fine underneath. Well, I don't know if you can see that. There's like a little brown spot in there. That means that there's a little bit of mold or breaking down of that vegetable, and we don't want to eat that. That's not great for us. So we want to, that's why I recommend peeling the skins off. And if you're going to be like baking whole potatoes, you want to really make sure that they're okay. So try to, check them out, make sure that they look really good if they're in a bag, so that you have, you end up with a good result on the inside. Okay, so that's just all. And then the other thing is you want to cut the pieces relatively uniformly. So you want to try to get them all about the same size so they cook at the same speed. So we talked about oil. Let's talk about some seasoning. So I've just pulled out a bunch of stuff that I could use. What I tend to do when I do a big vegetable bake, I might bake 3 or 4 or 5 kinds of vegetables at one time on different trays. So then I can pull out my spice mixes. So I did this Greek seasoning blend already. This is a Trader Joe's Everything But the Elote seasoning blend, which is what they do Mexican street corn with. Penzeys Italian herb mix would be great. Curry powder would be great. I love that on roasted cauliflower. Green chili powder or any kind of chili seasoning blend. Penzeys roasted garlic is delicious, although Penzeys is temporarily closed for safety. And their Arizona Dreaming is also really nice on roasted vegetables. So what else can you, besides carrots and potatoes, what else should you be thinking about roasting? Squash, so all kinds of those harder squashes, butternut, acorn, delicata, all of those can be roasted. Beets, turnips, rutabaga, kohlrabi, broccoli, and cauliflower. And each one would take a slightly different time, so you want to just kind of, what I do is I usually put them in for 10 or 15 minutes, set the timer, and then pull them out, kind of see where they're at. And then as things get finished, I just pull it out. I may reuse that tray because I may not have enough pans to do it on. But again, if you have silver versus dark, just be aware that there might be a 2 to 3 minute, as much as 5 minute difference in terms of that going quicker than this will. But they both will work perfectly fine. And you might call them sheet pans, cookie trays, cookie sheets. I've heard all those terms, they're all correct. It is helpful if it has a rim. But if it doesn't, just be careful when you're moving your vegetables around, otherwise they can kind of fly out the corners. So if you're not following me, if you're watching this on YouTube, follow me on Facebook, Stephanie Weaver MPH, and hopefully so once they're roasted, you can freeze some of them. So you can do this all at once in a big batch, and then have some pre-cooked frozen delicious vegetables. They also make fantastic soups. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care in your own quarantine kitchens. Bye.